Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I want to thank y'all for tuning in once again. I just want to say that I'm super sorry that I have not posted in like 3 weeks.
My body is your tabernacle. Lord, move me where you will. My heart is a beating reflection of your kind and your patient nature.
Honestly, I ran out of space on my phone, and so I literally had to delete all my non-essential apps, like everything, and then I still didn't have any space on my phone, and so I was, had to figure out what I had to delete and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, we're back now, and I asked you all on my Instagram questions about modesty that you had as it pertains to Christian women. And so we're going to answer those questions today, and I pray that y'all are edified by it and that you can take some little nuggets from it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the questions. The first question is, how do you define modesty? I've noticed that it does vary in different environments. So that is a really, really, really good question. And I honestly think that modesty looks different for different women. So we got to break this down practically and spiritually. The practical aspect of modesty is that we all have different body types. We all have different body weights and things that look good on us. So there are some clothes that maybe I could wear that another woman couldn't wear, and vice versa. Like, we have to make sure that we are dressing for our body type and what suits us best and how we can best present ourselves. And then there's the spiritual aspect. We have to say, okay, God, how can I honor you best with the way that I present myself? And so the Bible says that our body is a temple. And not only do we have to think about our actions when it comes to our body being a temple and knowing that our body is sacred, but we have to make sure that we are mindful of the way that we dress our body as well. And so I really just try to listen to what the Lord is telling me to do. The way I kind of judge it practically is by saying, okay, how can I honor the Lord best in my dressing? And if I put on something that I'm unsure about and I'm going back and forth about it, looking in the mirror, then I'm thinking, okay, I probably shouldn't wear this because I want to wear what makes me feel beautiful and what makes me know that I am honoring the Lord. And so if I'm feeling self-conscious about it, if I'm feeling uncomfortable about it, if I'm constantly having to pull up my shirt in order to stop from showing cleavage, if I'm constantly having to pull my skirt down because I feel like it's too short in my head, that's probably something that I don't need to wear. Now, when it comes to how it varies in different environments, I try to make my modesty holistic. I try to make it well-rounded. And so if I am wearing something at church, then I'm probably more dressed up than I would be on a regular work day or just a regular weekday. But I try to make sure that the way that I dress during the week is also a way that I would be comfortable with presenting myself in front of my church family or those who know me and who know my character. So I don't try to switch up my style so much to fit different environments that people can't recognize me and my character in the way and what I stand for when they see me in those different environments. The next question is, how can you remain modest and comfortable during the summertime? Yo, that's a good question. And I know I keep saying that these are good questions because like they literally are. So again, and I know I'll say this a lot, but it really just depends on you. So for me personally, I don't mind wearing shorts. I don't mind wearing tank tops. I don't mind wearing off the shoulder stuff, but I just really try my best to make sure that it's tasteful. I try to make sure that my cleavage isn't showing, that my butt isn't hanging out. It's important to know that we can still be comfortable, modest, and cute and classy. It's important to know that even in the summertime when we tend to have on less clothes, we can still present ourselves in a classy manner. Also, I think that modesty looks different for different women in the summertime as well, because honestly, I don't wear bikinis, but a lot of godly Christian women wear bikinis, but that doesn't mean that they are any less modest. That doesn't mean that they are any less spiritual than me just because I don't wear bikinis. I tend to wear one pieces, and I also wear two pieces that still cover up my midsection. Now, when it comes to like crop tops and stuff like that, I personally don't like to wear crop tops. If I do, I have two cropped shirts, and they're not super cropped. Like the bottom of the shirt probably comes down to like the start of my jeans around my waist, but I still put a tank top under that. So if I'm bending over or if I'm sitting down in a manner that you won't see my midsection or anything like that. That is personally my conviction, but it just really depends on what you feel comfortable in and what you feel like you're honoring the Lord in. And I know that it's kind of hard for people who may say, okay, I have a relationship with God, but I don't necessarily hear him clearly yet. So a good way to think about it is, okay, what is my intention in this moment? Am I wearing this because I feel beautiful in it? Because I feel like like covered up, I'm classy, I'm not showing too much, or am I wearing this in order to get negative attention, in order for it to draw attention to my butt, or in order for it to draw just negative sexual attention? What is my heart posture in this? And so obviously in anything that we do, people are going to find us attractive. I mean, we can put a paper bag on our head and somebody will still be like, dang, that girl is so cute. And so we can't walk on eggshells, but we can make sure that we are personally honoring the Lord in what we wear. So the Bible also talks about how our beauty shouldn't be found in adorning ourselves with like jewelry and fancy clothes. And some people take that to mean, oh my gosh, I can't wear jewelry, I can't wear fancy clothes, I can't show any skin. And no, what the Bible is saying is not to find your identity in that. Find your identity in Christ. So yes, if you are finding your identity in the jewelry you wear, in the perfume you wear, in the fancy clothes that you wear, that is an opportunity to step back and say, okay, God, how can I best honor you? And if that means not wearing jewelry, if that means not wearing fancy perfumes, then I won't do that for a season, or I won't do that period in order to honor you. So it really, really, really just depends on your unique relationship with the Lord, and also what you feel like your problem areas are that you can submit to God. So yeah, so there are girls who dressed way more covered up than me. There are girls that don't have the same convictions as me when it comes to clothing. It's all about heart posture. But I will say that, of course, there's a limit to all of this. Like, of course, we shouldn't just go around barely having any clothes on and saying, this is my conviction. Because obviously, as Christian women, we should stand out from the world, and there is a limit. But the limits are different for different people. And so we have to be careful when it comes to judging other people, because what God told you to do may not be what God told them to do. God may have told you, hey, I want you to wear skirts. I want you to honor me in that. But God may not have told me that, or he may not have told someone else that. So it's important to make sure that we are honoring each other's relationships with the Lord and not judging. And it's also important to note that people are in different levels in their relationship with Christ. What I'm wearing now may not be what I'm wearing 10 years from now. It may not be what somebody else is wearing now may not be what they're wearing when they continue to develop in their relationship with the Lord. And so we need to, as God is extending us grace, and as God is letting us learn, we need to extend others grace as well. Okay, so the next question is wanting to feel sexy wrong? Okay, it depends on what you think about sexy. I don't think wanting to feel beautiful is wrong. I do think that if you want to attract sexual attention to the way that you dress, if you want people to see you and you want their minds to go down a whole rabbit trail because of what you are presenting, then yes, I feel like that is wrong, because the posture of your heart probably isn't to glorify God in that moment. But if you want to feel beautiful, absolutely nothing wrong with that. So the next question is, how much cleavage is too much cleavage? So I'll just speak for myself. I don't show any cleavage, or I try not to show any cleavage. And I know this is really hard for some people, because some people are very well endowed. And myself being one of them, I don't have a small chest. And so sometimes in certain clothes, it can be difficult for me to not show cleavage. And so I get away from those clothes for the most part. I either put a tank top under it, or I just don't wear it at all. Now, there are some people who their chests are so big that they literally cannot help it. Like they literally, whatever they wear, they're going to show cleavage because of the way that they have been blessed by the Lord. And so I think that it's important to know your body weight, know your body type, and know that God is also showing grace to you in those areas, because there are some things that we literally cannot help. So the next question is, are sundresses a no-no? And that is a good question. So I don't think that sundresses are a no-no. I think that sundresses, depending on the type of sundress that you are wearing, can be extremely tasteful. But I do think that we need to be mindful of our undergarments that we're wearing. We need to probably make sure that we are wearing undergarments and all that kind of stuff, because sundresses can bring about negative sexual attention. I do think that we need to be super, super mindful about what we have underneath when we're wearing them. So yeah, guys, I hope that you learned something from this video, and I pray that y'all have a super blessed day. Bye.